Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're really digging into the sources you sent over about some of those, classic childhood milestones.
Right, specifically things like potty training, picky eating, and that tricky one, school refusal.
Exactly. And our goal here is to pull out the essentials from this material, give you a clear view of what's typical, and maybe some practical strategies that actually work.
Strategies backed by the research, which is key. It's interesting how the sources connect these different challenges, often back to, well, kids growing up and finding their independence.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's kick off with potty training. The sources really hammer home one point. Readiness is the absolute game changer, not just age.
Definitely. While you often see readiness between, say, 18 months and 3 years, the signs are what matter.
Like what specifically?
Well, the material mentions things like staying dry for longer stretches, maybe 2 hours or more, showing interest in the bathroom, pulling pants down, really disliking a wet or dirty diaper.
Or even telling you they need to go before it happens.
Exactly. And the American Academy of Pediatrics, the experts, they've got solid evidence showing that watching for these cues is way more effective than just picking an age.
Okay, so readiness first. Then what? What are the strategies? It's not about pressure, right?
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
The sources are big on positive reinforcement, genuine praise, celebrating the small wins, maybe a sticker chart if that fits your family, but absolutely no punishment. Shaming just backfires.
Makes sense. Creates anxiety.
Totally. And consistency is huge, too. Like having regular times to sit on the potty, maybe after waking up or meals.
Routine helps. What else?
Modeling. Letting them see you or siblings use the toilet normally. Potty books can make it less intimidating, more fun. And helping them actually recognize and name the feeling, body awareness.
Got it. Okay, let's switch gears. Picky eating. This one feels universal sometimes.
Oh, it really is. The sources reassure us it's super common, often peaking around that same toddler window, 18 months to 3 years.
And why? Is it just defiance?
Well, it's often tied to that same theme, independence, asserting control. Food is one of the few things they can't control, right?
Okay. So how do you handle that?
This is where that division of responsibility strategy comes in, and it's highlighted in the material. It's actually pretty simple.
Lay it out for us.
Basically, you, the parent, decide what food is served, when it's served, and where. Healthy options, regular meal times. The child. They decide whether they eat it and how much they eat from what you offered.
So you provide the opportunity, but you don't force the issue.
Exactly. It takes the battle right off the table. And another thing the sources stress is patience with new foods. Repeated exposure.
How many times are you talking?
It might take 10, even 15 tries before a child accepts a new food. Seriously. So don't give up after 1 or 2 attempts.
Wow. Okay. Patience is key. Anything else?
Yeah, making food fun helps. Cookie cutters, dips, arranging it nicely. Eating together is huge, too. Modeling enjoyment. And like with potty training, avoid the battles. No bribing, no forcing.
There's research on that too, right?
Yep, the sources mention a 2015 review in the journal Appetite supporting this responsive feeding idea, offering variety without pressure. It works better long term.
Good to know. Okay, final topic. School refusal. This sounds more serious.
It can feel that way. The sources frame it often as a symptom, not just bad behavior. It could be anxiety, maybe stress about transitions, or even a negative experience at school.
And it pops up at certain ages more.
Yeah, commonly around 5 to 7 when formal school starts, and then again around 11 to 14, those tricky early teen years.
So what's the approach? You can't just let them stay home, right?
That's the tricky balance the sources talk about. You absolutely need to validate their feelings, acknowledge the fear or worry is real for them. But you don't want to reinforce the avoidance by always letting them skip school.
So how you manage that?
Predictable routines are helpful. A calm morning routine can lower anxiety. Gradual exposure is another strategy.
Right.
Maybe starting with just part of the day or even just visiting the school for a bit and slowly increasing the time. Working closely with the school is critical.
Teachers, counselors.
Absolutely. Everyone on the same page. And teaching the child coping skills like deep breathing, maybe drawing their worries or having a small worry stone in their pocket. Practical tools.
And organizations support this.
Yes. The Anxiety and Depression Association of America backs these kinds of cognitive behavioral approaches, helping kids manage their thoughts and feelings alongside, crucially, consistent attendance.
Okay, so let's try and pull this all together. What's the big takeaway from this deep dive?
Well, I think the sources consistently show that many of these really challenging moments, potty training, eating, school difficulties, are often, normal parts of development. Maybe difficult, but normal.
And there are concrete strategies backed by evidence that aren't about punishment or force, but about understanding and support.
Exactly. And connecting that to the bigger picture. Knowing these are typical phases and
Yeah.
having some actual strategies from the sources can make you feel more prepared, maybe less stressed when they inevitably come up.
It kind of reframes it, doesn't it? Which leads to a final thought, maybe something for you to consider.
Yeah.
How does shifting your perspective, seeing these challenges not as personal failures or battles to be won, but as predictable, understandable steps in your child's development, how might that change how you approach them next time? Something to think about.